News, your urban empowerment and inspiration station.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Real Family Talk. This is your host, Jay Real. I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday evening. It is Hump Day, y'all. Hump Day. I love that little camel. I still love that camel, man. Let's see. We're going to get it in here. We're going to go ahead and welcome my panel tonight. You guys know these people. They're here with me all the time. Love and appreciate both of these individuals. Jeremy's in the building. How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm doing good. How you doing out there? And my name is Jeremy. You should know that, sir. It's not Jeremy. It's Jeremy. There are 3 syllables. Jeremy.
Brother, I've been saying it that way for years. Brother.
I know you have, but for the listening audience, so they don't walk up to me, hey, Jeremy. No, it's Jeremy. My name is Jeremy.
Thank you. I like that.
Wasn't I close enough? I was close enough.
No, you're not close enough.
No.
All right, man. Miss McCrae's in the building. Miss McCrae, how you doing, Miss McCrae?
Better and better. My new name is Better. So
Better. I'm sorry. Better is in the building.
Better. Thank you.
Better. How you doing tonight?
I'm better. I'm here. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome, man. We're gonna get into a hot and heavy kind of topic tonight. Miss McCrae kind of brought this to my attention. Miss McCrae's a genius over there, so I try and listen as often as I can.
Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that.
Except when we talk politics. And then her intelligence level dips a little bit.
You don't listen to anybody when it comes to politics.
Yeah.
Her intelligence level dips just a little bit. But
okay. All right.
So we're going to talk about hair. We're going to talk about hair, black women's hair. That is a huge topic, man. Natural versus weaves, dreads, and any number of ways black women can do their hair from time to time. So we're going to get into that. But before we go there, a couple of announcements I wanted to do, and then a couple of stories I wanted to hit as well. So let's get to the announcement first. First announcement, WOKB Radio is sponsoring a bowling family fun night on August 1st at 6 p.m., So August 1st, 6 p.m., WOKB Radio Back to School Bowling Family Fun Night. It's going to be at the Brunswick Wekiva Lanes, which is over off Cimarron Boulevard in Apopka, 2160 Cimarron Boulevard in Apopka, Florida. Registration is $20 per person, or you can register a team for, of course, $100. Teams are 5 people. So that is happening August 1st, 6 p.m., WOKB Radio Back to School Bowling Family Fun Night over at Brunswick Wekiva Lanes, 2160 Cimarron Boulevard, Apopka, Florida is the address. So we're looking forward to that. Please check that out. Register your teams. You can register teams by yourself, or build your own team of 5 people, or you can build a team perhaps with your favorite talk show that you hear here on the radio. If you want info, just email info@wokbradio.com, info@wokbradio.com to receive the registration form. August 1st, 6 p.m., bowling with WOKB, Brunswick, Wekiva Lanes, 2160 Cimarron Boulevard, Apopka, Florida, y'all. So please come out, support that event. The whole thing, as you can see, is about back to school, supporting the kids as they go back to school. Another event that's happening, this one's happening this Saturday. Let me get my flyer here. This is happening this Saturday. It's being sponsored by the Caribbean Community Connection of Orlando. It's going to happen at the Northwest Community Center. It's their 11th annual Back to School Day Festival, happening again at the Northwest Community Center. That's 3955 W.D. Judge Drive, Orlando, Florida. They got plenty of food. There's going to be music. There's going to be bounce houses for the kids. As I said, they're giving away school supplies. There was a registration for that. It ended on July 11th, so this past Friday. But if there's some extras available, they said definitely they'll be giving those out as well. But come out. They got plenty of food. There'll be bounce houses for the kids to play, and other activities happening for the kids. So it's still going to be a great fun event. And that happens this Saturday, July 19th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Again, at the Northwest Community Center. It's the Back to School Day Festival, being sponsored by the Caribbean Community Connection of Orlando. So please go out and check that event out too, this Saturday, 10 a.m., 3 p.m., Northwest Community Center. All right. So some stories here. First story I got, we talked about Jeremy Meeks a couple weeks ago. Jeremy Meeks, that's the convict who basically earned a modeling contract because America said he was so beautiful.
Felony Bay.
So beautiful. Now we got a new one. There was a model that posted some pictures recently of her, and she's a big game hunter. So she posted some pictures of her killing, not killing the lion, but the lion that she killed. So it's her and the dead lion. She's posting pictures, and she's got other pictures because she does big game hunting. She goes to Africa, she gets her rifles, and goes out and shoots some exotic animals. So anyway, she caught some flack because she's a model who has pictures of her with dead animals. So what happened to her? She lost her modeling contract because how dare she go to Africa and kill animals, where it's legal to go to Africa and kill animals.
You know that.
Matter of fact, you have to pay some upwards of 6 figures to go to Africa and kill some animals.
Well, you know, I'm sure a lot of it have to do with a lot of the people in that industry, I believe, are with the whole PETA thing and faux fur and all that good stuff.
It just amazes me, though, the level of intellect that we have as people in this country sometimes, though. So the convict, the career criminal, so beautiful, we give him a modeling contract.
It's all about the beauty, man.
This girl, she's a pretty girl.
The
Who goes out and legally kills animals in Africa, and she loses her job because how dare she go legally kill animals in Africa? How dare you? Like, really?
Yeah.
It just amazes me, man. It amazes me the intellect that we have as a people in this country sometimes. I don't know. What you think, Mr. Curry? Does that make any sense to you? Because I can't fathom how, it just blows my mind.
Yeah, it doesn't make
any sense, does it? Matter of fact, I was doing some research, and apparently these animals that they kill, they're just not killing animals and throwing the carcasses, on the side of the road to decay. They actually take those animals, chop them up just like they would do a cow, and then feed it to the local community. So she paid 6 figures to go over there and kill these animals, and then these animals are served up like a cow so that the local community can eat. But she lost her job. Come on, man.
So the animal's not going to waste.
No, it's not.
It's just not like big game hunting, leave it out there for the buzzards and the coyotes and hyenas to get.
It's the chop it up for the local community so that they can eat. Come on. Raises a few $100 million for the local community throughout the year.
Yeah. And I mean, but that's L'Oreal sticking to their, for years they got flack for testing their products on animals. So now they have this no tolerance that we're going to be the saints of all animals, and you can't be a part of our company or an ambassador for our brand if you do anything bad to animals.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a lot. It's definitely like, really? Did I just lose my job because of that? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep, that's why.
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. Blows my mind. Second story.
Yeah.
Young lady has a GoFundMe campaign to raise money to make up for her not having white privilege. So this young lady's black. She created a GoFundMe account, calculated that over the course of the 15 years she's been working, she's made about $9,000 less than the average white man. So 9 times 15 is 135. So 135,000 is what she should have made over the past 15 years. So she has a GoFundMe account to raise money to make up for her lack of white privilege. Here's the crazy part to me. Okay, I get that. People crazy. They do stuff. She's raised over $4,800.
Yeah.
That's the
part.
Who is donating to this foolishness? To the tune of $4,800 so far, and this is less than a week that she's had this up, and she's made $4,800, or at least donated donations or pledges at this point of $4,800. I just really white privilege. Wait, I'm not disagreeing. I believe there's white privilege myself. So I don't even have a problem with that concept. But the idea that she created a GoFundMe account to make up for it, and then somebody actually contributed to this foolishness. That's the thing that blows my mind.
Is it foolishness if you can get the money?
It is foolishness, regardless of whether or not you can get the money.
Hey, man.
Jeremy Meeks raised money for his bail. That was foolishness.
That wasn't foolishness. if people willing
That was
to donate,
foolishness too.
His mama did.
hey, if you was locked up, you would take the bail money however you can get it. You are not worried about does it sound stupid or not.
And it was still foolishness.
That ain't foolishness. Everybody need a little help sometimes.
Oh man! So are you gonna be creating your an account to request some funds to make up for your lack of white privilege too, then, brother?
Seeing the way this worked out, if I can just get half of that, that'll help me out real nice.
What about you, Better? Are you gonna be creating your account to
I'm
make up for
not.
your lack of
No.
white privilege?
No.
You know, this just brings up an interesting business idea. Hey, I'm gonna start a business. Maybe that can be the business. We go start a business and help people out with their white privilege.
You're gonna help people out with their white privilege.
So let me show you how to really use it, because you're not taking advantage of it, right?
Yeah. And well, let me ask you this, Better. White privilege. Do you think it exists? Do you think?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That I don't disagree with her on. It's creating a GoFund to go ahead and
make up for that white
Yeah.
privilege. 407-894-1680 is the number. 407-894-1680 if you want to comment on these stories. I'd love to hear what you think about some of these stories. But yeah, raising money to make up for her white privilege. Just killing me, man. Killing me.
Hilarious.
Killing me. Hilarious is exactly what it is, Miss McCray. It just goes to show you. Crowdfunding, we talked about. I think crowdfunding is an awesome idea. If you can successfully
growing.
create a campaign, but
yeah.
it's just crazy some of the ideas that people come up with sometimes when it comes to crowdfunding.
No, what it lets
Make
you know
up for
is
my lack of white
no.
privilege.
What it lets you know is no idea is too crazy.
It does.
So when you sitting in your house thinking like, "Man, that's stupid. Nobody ever go for it." Yes, they will. Somebody will.
Somebody will.
There are however many billion people in the world. If you can get a few 100,000 to send you $1, wow. See, y'all don't even think about it. Like, we got to put the numbers together.
Yeah, you got to put the
There
numbers
are
together.
billions of people in the world. If you can get just 100,000, you know how the percentage of that is? That's a small percentage compared to 2 billion. So if you obviously you're not gonna be able to access 2 billion people, but if you can access a 500
million, huh?
Yeah, a few 100 million of them, just ask for $1.
Imagine what you could do.
Imagine what you can do. And you take the $100,000 you get and reinvest them in the lotto. And win the Powerball a few times. Now you're really talking. No, I'm just playing.
Did he
I don't
say
endorse
invest in the lotto?
I don't endorse that. That's gambling. No.
But
I ain't no gambler.
Did you read like she has different reward levels?
Yes.
Yes. No,
yes.
That was funny.
I did read the different reward levels. I'll give you just a couple of examples of some of the reward levels. The lowest level is the $5 level. Be my friend, she says. This, and you can find these posts. I posted these on the Real Family Talk Facebook page. So if you go to the Facebook page, you can check out the article, which has a link to her GoFundMe account. But $5 level, you'll be her friend. At this level, she agrees to be the black friend you are referencing when you tell people, I'm not racist, I have a black friend.
Wow.
That's actually kind of funny, though.
It
I'll
is.
give it that.
That's similar
I'll
to
give
the
it
one,
that.
the story we had, was it last year?
Oh, but where someone was saying they're not racist because they had a black friend?
Yeah, and you hired a guy to be your friend
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You hired a black guy to be at your wedding or something like that. I'll go to the $25 level. This is a good one. Facebook friend. At this level, you get a black friend, a selfie, and we both post our selfies as Facebook profile pictures for a week to show everyone that we're besties. Okay, that's the $25 level.
A mess.
Let's see. Well, a couple more. $65 level. Connect with me. At this level, you may touch my hair without asking, enabling you to potentially absorb some of my magical afro powers.
Which goes into our later topic.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
There's I'll give you one more. I thought this was hilarious too. Eat like me for $100. At this level, I will provide you with a copy of my grandmother's collard green recipe. When you cook it, you may also claim that yours is better than hers. For $100, you can have grandma's collard green recipe.
Hilarious.
That might be worth more than that.
And it just goes on and on. I mean,
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see some of the comments?
Yeah.
There's the comment, I'm seriously in need of urban music lessons and will gladly give some of my white privilege. Really?
Gladly.
Really?
No, but see, y'all underestimate how important that is to some people. That is important.
What's important?
Urban music lessons.
Is it?
What do you mean?
To
urban
some
music lessons.
Because you can listen to the music, but that don't mean you get it. You know what I'm talking about.
So that's part of her $35 level. At this level, I will translate up to 5 words or phrases from the African American vernacular, aka Ebonics.
See, but the price is too cheap on that.
$35.
Well, yeah, that's
That's
too
too
cheap.
cheap.
That's too cheap. That's worth a few $1,000s.
That's what the $3,000.
That might save your life sometimes.
Brother, I think you need to get you a GoFundMe account
Right.
to make
Hey, I'm
up
telling- hey,
to make up for some of your lack of white privilege.
Hey, the translation that will save your life, that's worth a few $1,000s.
My God.
Somebody coming up, huh? What he said was,
Get out.
yes, that's what he said.
Leave.
Matter of fact, when he came in with that crazy look on his face, that meant leave before he said anything.
Oh man. Make up for my lack of white privilege. Whew. I need some white privilege. That's the title of her thing. I need some white privilege. One last story. This story I thought was interesting because when I read it, here's my first thought. First thought I had was only white people. So here's the story. In D.C., there were 2 couples that decided to move in together, basically to as a way to save money for both couples, and then they were planning to essentially live in this house, 30-year mortgage. They're going to raise their kids in this house together, and live in happily, however you want to call it. But 2 couples, 1 mortgage is the title of the article. So you had 2 couples, 1 mortgage. One already has a baby on the way. They're pregnant as we speak, or at least, as they wrote the article anyway. So, there's at least 1 child coming, but the other couple plans to have children of their own too. And they plan to live together for 30 years, or forever, if you will. It's a 30-year mortgage, but they plan to live together forever as 2 couples in 1 household. Interesting. What do you think about that?
Nah, the idea.
That, again, which is why I said when I read this article, I didn't even see who wrote the article, but after I read what they were doing, I said, gotta be some white people.
I say, now the idea ain't bad.
The
but I don't-
idea is actually an
I don't know
awesome
about living
idea.
together. How about we just combine and knock this 30-year mortgage off in 10 years? And then we combine for another one, knock that one off. We both have our own house.
What you got to say, Ms. McCray?
I just couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it, huh?
No.
How big is the house? I'm sorry.
I
That's
don't
a good-
know.
that's
I was
an
wondering the
awesome
same
question.
thing. It's in D.C. I don't know
Oh,
how
well,
big
it
houses
ain't that
are in
big.
D.C. Again, there's a link to the link on the Real Family Talk Facebook page if you want to check out the article. Yeah, it doesn't talk about how big it is. It just talks about the idea that, they thought of this as a great way for both couples to be able to eventually have financial freedom, individually as both couples have to gain their financial freedom. All 4 individuals have jobs. So they also, but obviously everybody's job doesn't end at the same time. So they thought of it as a way to sort of raise their families as a village, because when one parent is running late that day, the other parent is home. So when the kids come home, there's still somebody there, even though their quote unquote mom and dad aren't available to be there. That other mom and dad would be there. So these are some of the things that they were thinking of. They were all best friends at some point. Or not, they were all best friends as well. So again, it's like friends and friends. They grew up, having roommates and loved the idea of having a roommate. So why not have this other couple in their family as their quote unquote roommate? That's the way they talk about it in an article. And then taking it a step further, they thought about all of the contingencies. Okay, well, what if this couple ends up divorcing, or what if, this all goes wrong? And so they're lawyers, 2 of them are lawyers. So they drew up the plans for all of that, so that all of those little inconsistencies that may come up when they get mad at each other and now it's a problem, while they love each other and happy, if you will, they created a plan to solve all of those little issues that may come up down the road. So, and this is not, a swingers thing or anything, if you will.
Okay, that's the next thing I was going to now.
I see Jeremy's eyes. He's thinking,
I'm waiting for
what's
that
the
to
shady
come.
thing
I'm like,
happening?
nah,
But
what
no, these
happened
are
when
just
the
2
one couple feel like they want
heterosexual
to have Naked Friday.
or 4 heterosexual people that are doing this because they love having roommates. and thought the idea of not having a roommate and the experience that brings, they wanted to kind of keep it going. So that's what they came up with. But I figured, I don't know if we could do that. We're a little too we need our privacy.
I knew we couldn't do that.
Yeah. We need our privacy.
Not you got a house. You got a big house. You meet another couple, somebody who hard on it or whatever happened. Buying a house together.
Buying a house together.
Like that's like basically we're marrying this other couple.
This is the four of us house.
Right. That's why you can tell me whatever you want. Talking about this, not no swingers thing. Something's going on.
Not according to the article.
Hey, something's going on. I wouldn't put it in print either.
Keep 407-894
something ain't right.
407-894-1680. I don't know.
Like save on a babysitter. You can get one babysitter, one nanny, or whatever the case may be. You can do that.
There are a lot of benefits to the idea, but that's a lot of trust that you'd have to have. And
like I said, how big is the house? Is there 2 master bedrooms? Are we gonna be fighting over the master bedroom? They done had the master bedroom for 5 years. We can't get it for a year, for 6 months. I mean, come on. We pay the same amount of mortgage as they do.
Just trouble.
Why bathroom so little?
And that was the other thing. I don't know what the incomes are, but these were all professional people. Nobody was, from what the article suggests.
Why they don't buy the groceries?
None of them.
Why we always cooking?
None of them are lacking, if you will. They're all comfortably living and beginning to live the lives that will eventually bring them.
No, let me tell you
some nice income.
But let me tell you where it get real. When one of them got a bad kid and the other one don't.
Parenting issues.
Hey, when that little boy come over here one more time.
As they say, they share the same values, brother.
Hey, everybody share the same values to somebody kid bad. Then, at first it's like, no, we don't want to spank the children. We just want to put them in timeout. We're going to work with them. That one kid going around breaking all these expensive vases in the house. They're expensive, so I'm going to call them vases, not vases. So they breaking all the expensive vases, then we're going to go up inside somebody's head. Oh, man. Then, like you said, they're lawyers, so somebody go sue somebody, and then it's going to be a big thing. Now we got to figure out how we going to get out this contract.
It's interesting, man. Like I said, I can see the benefits from a lot of different levels, but I don't know, brother. That's just too close. I ain't married another couple. No, sir. Interesting. Man.
Marriage hard enough. We're going to bring 2 more people in it.
2 more people.
All the time.
All the time. They down the hallway.
You say everybody talking about they got the same values. Yeah. Everybody do. So somebody don't got kids, and the person with the kids, of course, your values change when your circumstances change. Like I say, somebody want to have an all-naked weekend. Like, hold on, you got to stay on your side of the house. Don't be coming in the kitchen like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh boy!
I'm just saying, everybody think you never can cover all the contingencies. You never can. I mean, it sound good.
You can do the best
what
you
if they
can.
get divorced? Yeah, all that sound good, but it don't get real till life start happening.
407-894-1680. 407-894-1680 is the number, man.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I might be able to pull it off. We could be the stay-at-home couple. Let them work.
Okay.
The stay-at-home couple.
Be the stay-at-home couple.
Neither one of y'all work. The other couple just paying all the bills.
Hey, we'll figure it out. Now that we might be able to figure out. No, I'm just playing. I couldn't sit around the house all day. I'll lose my mind.
Oh man. Oh boy. Last topic here. Of course, the NBA happened. The decision was made. He's going back to Cleveland. When you think about it, at the end of the day, it is almost not even surprising. Because you knew at some point he was probably going home. So to make it now, after he's already solidified at least 2 rings, he had to win a ring in Cleveland in the back of his mind before he quit his career. So it almost makes sense that he goes back now. Of course, Miami fans are probably a little disappointed, but in the East, they re-signed Bosh, they re-signed Dwayne Wade, they brought in Luol Deng. He's certainly, he may not be LeBron, but he's certainly not a bad pickup. So in the East, there'll certainly still be a playoff team. How far they go will just kind of depend on where they fall in the bracket. Is me and Jeremy were talking before we got on the show. But so they're not, all is not lost in Miami Heat land, but the king, if you will, is going home.
King James. I wasn't even mad. Initially when it was announced, I was like, what? And then as I read it, I'm mad and I'm pushing my iPad. I'm flipping through the article, and as I'm going down the article, like my anger, and it just calms down. Cause I'm like, you know what? You can't be mad. You can't. If you read that as an adult and just a mature-minded person, I left with even more respect for him the way he did it this time, and the way what he said his reasoning was for going back. I said I can't be mad at that. He did his job. Now if he would have gone to Miami and no rings, no nothing, it just was a bust, and he's like, well, I'm going on back. Then okay, sure. He get 2 rings, 4 appearances to finals. Like what? I mean, we can't be greedy.
Definitely. And like I said, you always knew in the back of his mind, even when he came in the league, he talked about bringing a championship to Cleveland. Mm-hmm. So you knew he was going back at some point. You just didn't know when. So it was now. So it is what it is, you know. I'd be very surprised if he ever leaves at this point, regardless of what the team is doing. Yeah. I think he'll probably end up staying until the end of his career at this point. So
yeah, well, unless Dan Gilbert do something real crazy.
Unless he do something else crazy, but it seems like Dan Gilbert is on his P's and Q's. Mm-hmm. He apologized.
You know better now. He said, okay,
he apologized.
He'll leave for real. So I can't be playing.
And I think he will give LeBron the keys to his house, cars, and maybe a piece of his side business, his real business, if you to keep him in Cleveland at this point. So yeah, man, it's good. I think basketball in the East is still going to be pretty solid. I don't think much is going to change. He's certainly probably not winning the ring this year, but you know, give him a couple years.
Yeah.
Let Andrew Wiggins develop a little bit. Maybe they'll probably certainly be in the championship within the next 2 to 3 years.
He's a leader, so I feel like he's going to build and lead this team. He's going to do great things. He's just a good guy, good player. I don't know how true that is, but there's a clause in his contract that after he retires, he has a piece of the franchise.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That'd be awesome.
He should have a piece of it now.
I mean, quietly, he really should. But, I mean, when he was talking about wanting to bring an economic change to his city, to the community, he knows that his presence will do all those things.
They're thinking $500 million
Absolutely.
is what he's going to bring to that economy. So
yeah, it's a big deal.
It's not a small chunk of change.
I was not angry. I just was like, you know what? I was disappointed. Absolutely. I mean, he's the best player in the league. Like, of course you want him on your team, but okay. The whole college thing, him saying that it's like I went to college and now it's time for me to go home. So there was growth. There was growth in that article. There was forgiveness. There was everything about his family, who I'm sure Savannah has always been in his ear, because there was a rumor she just did not like Miami. She's just a Midwesterner. She wanted that.
She's probably a small-time girl.
Yeah, you know, they're having a girl. She's like, I don't want to raise my baby girl, in Miami. Mm. So I'm not mad. Go James family.
So we'll see, man. We'll see. But Carmelo went back home. He went back to the Knicks. So we'll see. The Knicks aren't really going anywhere yet. maybe the next 2 to 3 years they'll be going somewhere. They got a bunch of money.
They should make the playoffs next year.
They got a bunch of money coming up soon. So yeah, it's pretty much over. 1 or 2 people still out there, but we'll see. Lance Stevenson going to Charlotte Hornets. So we'll see what happens, man. But at the end of the day, he's home. The Miami Heat are still good. It's all good. Go
Heat. Go Magic.
Go Heat. Go Magic.
Come on.
Go Cavaliers.
Go Cavaliers. All right, man. 47894.
I don't got no favorite team. I got my favorite players. I don't follow teams. And this is the reason why I don't follow teams. Right here. I mean, I ain't mad at it. More power to him. I don't care where nobody go. You know, that man could have said, man, you know what? I think I want to go play for Washington. And I'd been like, go Wizards.
407-894-1680. 407-894-1680. So, to this topic about black women and their hair. Black women and their hair. Now, as we discuss this, Miss McCrae, or Better, is the only lady in the building tonight. So, she's going to need your help. She's going to need your help, ladies. Help give her some backing as we talked tonight in the studio. She's going to be looking for you. 407-894-1680. 407-894-1680. So lead me into this discussion, Miss Better.
Well, I mean, there's just been a lot of, I don't know if you read blogs, if you're hearing about, there are movies, there are documentaries, there's everything about hair, the African-American woman's hair movement. Now, I'm not one, if you have a perm, creamy crack is what they call it, I'm not mad at you. I'm not that girl. I'm not the person that, oh, you need to do this, you need to be natural. I don't have product in my hair. I mean, I have moisturizer and things like that, but I'm not against that. I cut my hair not to join the movement of this natural hair. My hair was breaking and I just needed to cut it off. And I had too many other things going on, and it's so much easier having short hair. However, I like that people are now taking beauty products and think their natural form. I like that we as Black women are encouraged to do so. Again, with that, just walking around with your hair all over your head, that's not cute for nobody. Whether it's natural or there needs to have some type of style to it. But then they're always talking about your corporate America. And what was so funny about the young lady with the GoFund, when she says, don't touch my hair, I cannot tell you, every friend that I know, and even me, not as much though, but that has like that big hair, that big full hair, they get so many times people just in an inappropriate way just go and touch it. Your hair is beautiful, as they're patting their hair like a little puppy. And they hate that. Ask any woman with big natural hair if she's ever had her hair touched. And she's going to tell you, yes, and I hate it. It's rude. So her whole comment when the GoFundMe girl, when she's like, I'll allow you to touch my hair, that was pretty funny because it was fitting. That's always one of the biggest issues.
Why do you think they're so fascinated by it?
I think because some people, now that we're really just letting our hair grow, it can be big. And if it's healthy, it's curly, it's full. And then the question is, well, what are you mixed with? No, some people are just, it's just our texture. And that's the thing. It's not always, we're all ultimately mixed with something nowadays, these generations.
Not me.
Okay. But it goes to just how grand the Black experience is. And as Black people, you can have what is quote unquote good hair, and then you can have hair that is extremely kinky. I won't say what some of the other stuff that people say that. There's kinky to the straight to the curly to everything. And it's your own struggle of how you have to deal with your hair. And it's the woman's prerogative. All I say is, and men, just when you go out in public, look like somebody. Don't just have it all over your head, men and women. Because this topic is for men as well.
Is it really?
Yeah. There are a lot of men out here that are growing their hair out long, blowing it out, whatever, and just walking around willy-nilly. That's not cute.
But what if that's their
style?
Yeah, there you go. That's a style to some people.
Looking a mess like you just got out of bed?
I mean, but it could be organized confusion.
That's when I have a problem. Like if you don't look well kept, and especially in a professional setting, that's my only problem. I just like a nice, and that doesn't mean that you have to have a perm. You can have natural hair and it can be full and you can wear it however you want. It just needs to look neat and professional. That's all I'm saying. But my hair is short, and I don't plan on growing mine back.
You don't plan on growing your own back for a while, huh?
Yeah.
Well, now, of course, some of the controversy is the idea that some Black women, of course, feel like they gotta have that wig. They need that, or they gotta have the weave. You know, where do you think? What's the history? I mean, is there some history involved in that?
Absolutely.
Give me some of that history.
Well, the original form of us perming our hair was to fit this European idea of what is beautiful. Now, with the help of Lupita Nyong'o, thank you, our natural beauty, the way we naturally look, is now growing to be accepted. But for a while, I know when I was growing up, I mean, to have straight hair, the girl, especially the light skin, and that's part of another issue within our community, that light skin, long hair, long, straight, wavy hair that looks like So here you are, if you're a brown girl and your hair isn't long and straight, it might be curly and just full. Your standard of beauty doesn't match that back in the day. Now, we are getting better and better and better, but it's still not quite there.
Right. I mean,
which is why it's a controversy.
I mean, if you look at a lot of just your popular Hollywood actresses and people of that nature, you know, they all profess to proudly wear weaves in their hair. And most of them aren't even interested in doing anything natural.
But here's the thing about that. I don't think there's a problem with that either. If you are, the problem lies when you think that is your only way of being beautiful.
Right.
If it comes to, if it's just how you present yourself, if it's convenient. Now, a weave is easy, depending on your profession, it's easier to maintain. All types of things, especially Hollywood, they're always working on their hair. So your natural hair, if you're getting your hair worked on every day, 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, that heat can damage your natural hair. So if you have a weave to protect that, then I don't have a problem with that. It's lying inside first. And as corny as that may sound, you have to love yourself first.
Yes.
And then everything else, it is what it is.
Now, do you think that is a problem that we sort of put on ourselves? Or is that a problem that we got from what society believes is supposed to be pretty?
Both.
You think it's both?
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah, 2014, I think it's most definitely both.
407-894-1680, 407-894-1680.
Let me tell you what I don't like.
Come on.
I don't like the extravagant weave.
Like the long to your butt?
No, that's not even, long as it's small. You know, when I say small, I mean like to your head. I don't like the lion mane look.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, I don't like the big, like, you know, the girls had to weave and it'd be like way out here. I mean, like, that don't look good to dudes.
I mean, it's 8 or 9 inches off the top of the
Yeah,
head.
like you way out here like a fro, but it's like permed. It's like, what's the point of that?
Oh my gosh.
I don't like that. Now, you know,
somebody said that was cute. That's what the point was.
Somebody said.
Somebody said it was cute.
I guarantee you it wasn't the male. See, I could do a whole show of why I don't deal with the fashion industry. I can do a whole show. Actually, I don't need a whole show. I just need a couple sentences of why I don't agree with it. I don't understand women's thinking. You know, you listen to, never mind.
Okay.
Okay. You know what I'm trying to say. It's just like.
Go ahead and say it, brother.
But I don't.
Speak your mind, brother.
No, I mean, no, it is what it is. It's not the show. But like, you know, if you're gonna have a weave, you know, it is what it is. You know, if you can wear it and look good, that's fine. I just don't like the artificial look, where it's like it's not even believable. You know.
Absolutely.
Like I don't want to. You know,
you want them to get that natural weave where you naturally grow that weave out, if you will.
Well, I mean, not even that, but it looked like, okay, I could see that might be your hair, you know. But like you say, but the lion mane,
at least be fooled,
right? I don't want to ring your doorbell at 7:00 in the morning because maybe I had to pick something up for you on the way to work in the morning because I ain't stayed at night because I'm single.
Nice.
Yeah. So at 7:00 go ahead and open the door like, oh my bad. I thought Keisha stayed here. I got the wrong house. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, this me. No, that can't be you. That can't
Keisha
be
didn't look
you.
like that last
No, that
night.
can't be you.
It wasn't you last
It
time.
can't be you.
That's funny.
407-894-1680.
The woman I saw had 60 yards of hair on her head. Not inches, yards.
Oh my God. I can't deal.
So you can't be Keisha.
You can't be Keisha.
You can't be Keisha. Yeah. There can be a lot. And I mean, that's extreme for makeup. I am all for makeup is supposed to enhance your beauty.
Yes.
Not
Preach that.
your beauty.
Preach that.
So it's like caked onto your skin. Like I don't find that attractive. So, but some man does. Some guys, these women have men, and
you know what it is.
Somebody is saying, "Yeah, babe."
You know what it
do
is.
It.
And I'm to suspect that whole situation because that's me. It's like, you're really dealing with the same type of personality. You know, you're dealing with a woman who likes an artificial look, or likes a man who wants an artificial look. But with that man, that's like a what you call that? An arm piece. Oh, look. But again, for me, wake up in the morning and you don't resemble nothing of that, I got a problem. To me, you got to be cute without the makeup first. And then now when you if you say, okay, you put the makeup on, like, okay, wow,
Yeah.
I see. Now, here's another question for you. So you talked about how some of that perception of what your hair needs to look like comes from us. So you said that you were talking about some of the history involved. Of course, that does go back to hundreds of years where light skin was considered to be beautiful, dark skin was considered to be ugly, if you will, and how people perceived you based on your skin color. And that pretty much carried generational. I mean, just in my own grandmother, I saw a lot of that as well. So what do we do to be able to begin to overcome that? Because in 2014, when we still have people thinking like that, like what can we do to change that situation?
I don't know. And it's, I'm noticing now with this generation, and they use it like as a joke, the whole light skin mentality. Drake and Chris Brown, and when they do something, they're like, oh, they're just being light skinned. It's become like a joke now, and it's lightweight funny, but it's really not, because it's part of that colorism that we have in our community that just won't go away. And I keep bringing her name up, and that's why it was so huge for Lupita to now get all of this credit. Like, I'm loving it, because it's breaking all of that, what we used to, well, it's bringing to light another view of what beauty is in our community.
What do you think, Jeremy? What can we do to change some of that light skin, dark skin racism that still persists, even in 2014? Like I said, I mean, in my own experience, our grandmother had a lot of that. She was in her 80s at the time.
Wow.
We speak the truth on the show. Is that right, brother?
Yes, we do.
Putting it all out there.
Yes, we do.
Hey, we love her. We still love her. She's passed on and moved on. But yeah, even in that, we saw a difference in in that particular experience. What I noticed from my end, because I'm the dark skinned brother of the crew.
And you're not even dark skinned.
Is that she would call
on our
Jeremy.
side, you would be dark skinned.
On our side, yeah. She would call Jeremy and ask Jeremy to do all kinds of things for her. Pick her up, take her here, take her there, da-da-da-da. Now, when it came to me, I at some point in time had free time, certainly like Jeremy did, but I didn't get any of them calls. I didn't get any of those calls. If push came to shove, I get the call, but if there was available options, the other options were chosen.
It was most definitely it was definitely me and my father.
If there were other options, the other options were taken on, and then I was that last option that go to if you needed it.
Really?
407-894
be honest with you, sometimes
1680 407-894 1680.
I mean,
again, we're talking about the topic, man.
Yeah, but I mean, and it's now kind of evolved into something else. Like, I'm looking at you too, and to me, I don't see much of a difference. I mean, your shade of brown is just a little bit more brown. He's not light skin. You're not dark skin.
But you got granted. Now, this was 10 years ago, and to be honest with you, I've darkened up because I had a couple of jobs and I've been in the sun for a couple of summers.
Show me some old pictures. But what brings it back to the beauty is still brown.
No, but it's lighter than that. You see it?
Yeah.
It's a distinct difference, right?
But it's still brown.
I understand that.
I mean,
but to be honest with you,
look, are like, what the heck?
But even if you look at me, I'm still darker than most. I'm talking when you deal with. First of all, when I say my grandma was like high yellow.
Okay.
High yellow.
I mean,
See, now
high yellow.
That's when people talk about light skin. To me, that you are light skin if you yellow.
Yeah, that's how my grandma. She was lighter than Mr. King.
Yeah.
She was yellow team for real.
Yeah. Okay.
Not just saying it. She was yellow team for real.
Okay.
So it was like, she was like on the high end. And then, like I said, we have I have a few cousins and a couple of uncles that they real high yellow too. But anyway, I guess if you want to say the comparison, that's what you're comparing it to. So it's not like you saying, oh, he's light brown, he's dark brown. No, it wasn't even that close.
Oh my gosh. And I think to me, that's the beauty of us.
Of black people.
Like my mother, her siblings, and I mean this. My mother is a brown, maybe your complexion, Jeremy, and our listeners are like, well, we can't see y'all. So I'm
beautiful. I'm beautiful. Just trust.
You're beautiful.
I'm beautiful. Just
I'm trying to think of a brown.
Real Family Talk Facebook page. RealFamilyTalk.
Yeah, go to our pictures.
That don't do me justice. Y'all got to go to my Facebook page.
Okay. Anyway, but like she's so Tyra Banks complexion. If you think of Tyra Banks, and then her baby sister was, bless her heart, I miss her, what you would call a high yellow. Her middle sister is chocolate drop, and then the brother was just a regular brown Hershey bar. So all these 4 children, and my granddaddy was, I mean, he would be considered light skinned, but he wasn't high yellow. He had that kind of red tone. Would you call them reds or whatever? Mm-hmm. And my grandmother is just a brown Hershey bar. That's what I call. And they've created this rainbow of children, which then stretch back those recessive genes that are in our families to the great grandfather who was super high yellow. He passed as white back in the day, and he married a chocolate woman. So then their children were this beautiful rainbow of
sure his kids gonna be black.
Hey,
yeah.
Look, and
that's
you know, and maybe
he knew what he was doing.
And so they had 8.
I ain't mad at him.
Their baby girl was the red bone, and then their oldest is a chocolate. Her nickname is Brownie. That's my Aunt Brownie right now. That's what we call her. And that their beautiful range of these 8 children with these different complexions, and it's like that right there. To me, that's why we're just beautiful.
Well, just a side
people.
note, I just if I can just throw one nugget of science on y'all real quick. Speaking from a scientific perspective, when you talk about the different possibilities that the egg and sperm can be, there's over 70 million possibilities that each egg and sperm can be. So that's why genetically it's so much as possible, because there's 70 million ways that your one egg can be, or 70 million ways what that one sperm can be. So when you multiply that together, it's crazy what insane. You can come up with as far as what that child may look like. 70 million from you, 70 million from your partner. I'm not even gonna try and do the math on 70 million times 70 million, yeah. but that's how many options that there are for your child to look like. So it might come out to be the great granddaddy, or it might come out to be just like mom. But there's a wide range,
which goes
of what's
into
possible.
The hair. When you talk about hair grade, that same scenario that I told you, my mother was the one that she claims that she just did not have. Hair is very thin, where her sisters had this long, flowy, curly, beautiful hair, this good grade of hair. And we just produce different generations of different hair grades when you incorporate different partners and whatnot. Our whole movement of the natural hair movement, I love it because it's just showing just how versatile we are as people. We don't have to conform to anymore. People are breaking out of that box. Not to say if you want to perm your hair, do it. Because if I ever grow back my hair, I will be perming my hair. I'm not against it. That's just who I am. I'm not against it. I'll be as healthy as I can be with that and take care of my hair. But I'm going to put the creamy crack back in my hair because that's just what I want to do. However, I don't want you judging me because I want to do that.
I'm judging you. Why are you doing that?
Hush. And I'm not going to judge you if you choose to wear your hair natural.
Well, let me ask you this: 407-894-1680, 407-894-1680. What kind of influence do you think men play into the way women like to wear their hair? You think men have a big influence on that?
Huge.
No, I disagree. I disagree.
As a woman, I agree.
As a man, I disagree. And let me tell you why.
Why?
Because I hear more women changing things because of what other women have said or looked like more than any other man has ever said or looked like. Unless they like in a relationship or something, that's one thing. But like single women, oh no, I ain't wearing like that because these women gonna be talking about this. Oh, I ain't gonna do this because the way I don't know that woman looked at me like this. It's never about what a man said. It's always about some woman looked like, might think, might have said, might have heard, some people might think or said they look like this and that. It's never been like, oh, this man.
There's some
Now
of that.
Oh, no, ain't no some.
There's some of that.
Ain't
but
no
there's-
some.
I would have to agree. I think there's a lot of
Ain't
that.
no some.
It has elements to
real
that.
talk, most men don't care.
Don't care.
They don't care. They care that whatever you choose to do looks good.
Yeah.
But they don't care about necessarily your choice. Now, and what we're talking about here, we're not talking. Are there some men that exist that do care if their woman has long hair, like skin?
Yeah. No, we're not saying that's not true.
Those men
No.
exist.
Yeah.
Yes,
Those men
a lot
exist.
of
But
them.
what I'm suggesting is that those men are the minority,
Right.
Compared
They are.
to
They are the
when you're
minority.
talking about the scope and practice of every man in the world. Most men in the world aren't necessarily looking for a
Quote unquote
type.
perfection and all that
Right.
stuff. Right.
Most men
Yeah.
in the world are looking for that woman that looks good. Now, how she chooses to look good
Right.
is the whole, is really up to her. But if she looks good, most men would tell you they don't care.
And whatever you choose, you have to wear it. You understand what I'm saying? Be confident in whatever you're doing.
Right.
Like the women walking around with fades and stuff, they got men because they wear it.
Yeah.
They not walking around looking like, oh, touching their head and seeing, oh, are they go? No, they're wearing it and they're confident in it. Now, the women you see a lot of times that look, like I said, the artificial looking ones, they got artificial looking dudes. You understand what I'm saying? Like once that dude go home, take his clothes off, and you try to have a conversation with him, now you're bored.
Right.
You understand what I'm trying to say? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, but the I want to say real because I'm not trying to say people everybody's fake, but you know what I'm saying? The people who know who they are and they're confident who they are, they just want somebody else who knows who they are and confident who they are.
Exactly.
It's not even about a look.
Right.
I feel you on that. I hear you.
Because beauty comes in all different shapes, sizes, and colors. So all different hairstyles.
Right.
So that there's a lot of beauty in women. And so it's not necessarily about how you have it. It's about having that look.
Exactly.
You just got to have, if you got that look, I would think most men, I was reading and I found a survey that was done by some people, and they said it was 50-50 in their survey. That half of the men said that they were looking for a particular, type, hairstyle included. Half of the men said it didn't matter as long as you look good. So that's what the survey that I read said. But if I had to just, go off the cuff, I would think most men that I know could care less of how long your hair was, how short your hair was, as long as when you wore, when you were out in public with him, you were doing it.
Yeah, just look good, presentable, and all that.
If you were doing it, I don't think he would. I think most men would not care. 407-894-1680. What were we gonna say, Better?
Just the men that I've come across, and I tend to meet a whole bunch of different people, but I've met guys with my short haircut. Oh man, you're beautiful, but I don't date women that have a low haircut. I couldn't date you because, mind you, I don't have a fade. I do the curly little, so it's not like
he's doing you a favor.
Oh, please believe I understand. And so when I meet guys that say stuff like that, I'm like, yes, thank you for putting your cards out here now,
Right.
so my time is not wasted.
Exactly.
But that's cool. I'm not mad at that. He's just not the one for me. We all have our preferences. On the flip side of that, some of my friends who do enjoy my haircut, they could not go and cut their hair because their men would feel some type of way.
See, well, I ain't even gonna get in that because I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings.
Right.
Say what you got to say, bro.
No.
You need to reanalyze your relationship.
We know some of these people
Don't let me
who
get
I've
started.
heard them say this.
Don't let me
so
get started.
we
about
won't.
that.
We don't need to put it out
You
there
supposed
like
to be in a
that.
relationship. You talking about a haircut, man? Please.
Look,
what if
I mean-
what if I get sick and lose my hair? Then what we talking about?
Okay. Well.
I mean, I'm just listening. I mean, to me, all that
That's
comes
I won't
into it.
question
It's real.
anybody's.
Yeah, all that comes into it. You go,
It's
I won't
real.
question anybody's relationship, but I'll just say, like I said, when you're talking about most men, I think most men would tell you, as long as you look beautiful, whatever that hairstyle is, And again, because a lot of it too has to do with how he met you too. That plays a lot into it as well. Because if I met you with long hair, flowing down your back, well, then I may not like the fact, because I might not have, met you, if you will, if you had a fade. So a lot of it too also has to do with how you came into that relationship and where that relationship begins. So I think that probably plays a lot into it as well. But I mean, if I met you when you had a fade, then I don't, I'm probably not caring too much if your fade goes from a fade to long hair. Because I loved you when you had a fade. I loved you when you was bald. So
I don't care. But again, this is all about when you meet somebody and you being honest. I don't mind you going from long hair to a fade. Me personally, long as you tell me, most likely you're gonna know if you get extra long, it's weave. But long as you're not real, long as your personality doesn't come off to me as you're relying on that weave for part of your beauty.
Amen.
But if you just got a real personality, say, I just wanted a weave, some hair down my back, so I put some weave in.
Sometimes you want that.
Yeah.
I want a wig, and I just feel like
and that's fine. Hair. Like now, see, I somebody that switches it up, like 'cause my wife does that. She'll switch it up, which is to me that's all good.
Yeah.
But if that's part of what you do, but if you present that to me, then we can do that. But if you present this idea of beauty to me when we meet, that I'm cute because my hair is down to my back or because it's long and flowing because it's this is that. If I deal with you past that, it's going to be artificial anyway. I'm going to be real with you.
I mean,
this is not going anywhere. Not with no substance, let's say that.
And that's
I'm just be honest.
478941680.
Because, to be able to deal with me, you're going to have to be able to be what's the word I'm looking for? Interchangeable, let's say that. Because I flip-flop on you quick.
At the end of the day, and you just have to love yourself. When you look
Correct.
in the mirror and you see flaws and all, you have to love what God has created in you.
Right.
Bottom line, you got to love you.
Love it. And some things, when you talk about weight, those things you can change. You can go on a diet. You can exercise.
Right.
But when it comes to like your features, your hair, you can change your hair, whatever. It's within you, then that will shine through and that will bring attention in a way that you want it to be. It doesn't matter what the trend is, because some of these trends don't look good on everybody. I've never been one. No.
Don't follow the trend.
Don't follow the trend. If it doesn't look good on you,
love yourself.
It might look good on her.
Yeah.
Like they say, you can't love
me.
anybody else until you love yourself.
Amen.
One more time, we're winding down on time. I want to mention the two events that I mentioned at the top of the show one more time. So on Saturday, July 19th, this Saturday, July 19th, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., the Caribbean Community Connection of Orlando is sponsoring a back-to-school day festival at the Northwest Community Center. There's going to be lots of food to give away. There's going to be music, live entertainment, bounce houses for the kids. And as they can, they're going to be giving away school supplies as well. That's going to be at the Northwest Community Center, 3955 WD Judge Drive, Orlando, Florida. And then coming up for the station, August 1st at 6 p.m., there's going to be the WOKB Radio Back to School Bowling Family Fun Night happening at the Brunswick Wekiva Lanes, 2160 Cimarron Boulevard in Apopka, Florida. You can sign up. $20 per person is the registration fee, and you can also sign up as a team for $100. You can get info if you just email info@wokbradio.com, info@wokbradio.com. So please go out and support these events that are happening August 1st for the bowling event and July 19th this Saturday for the back to school giveaway at the Northwest Community Center right here in Orlando, Florida. And we want to thank y'all for listening to us, Real Family Talk. This is your host. We got Jeremy is in the building. Better is in the building. Better is in the building as well.
Jeremy, right?
Jeremy, that's right. Jeremy is in the building. You're going to keep correcting me on that, huh, bro? This is your host, signing off, J Real. We'll be right here next Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Real Family Talk, y'all. WOKB 1680 AM, your urban empowerment and inspiration station. You can follow us on Facebook, Real Family Talk. You can follow us on Twitter, Real Family Talk. The website, realfamilytalk.weebly.com.
WOKB, Winter Garden, Orlando. It's Gospel 1680 WOKP, your urban empowerment and inspiration station. J Real and the company. I appreciate you guys, man. The family right here on your urban empowerment and inspiration station. Orlando's #1 gospel music station. We're back in. We're going in. I'm Brother Chris Shaw holding it down on the Late Night Express. Here's Kirk Franklin, Before I Die, right now.